Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Steven, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I'll be talking about the latest release from the one and only, the Doobie Brothers. This is called Walk This Road. This is their 16th studio album, and what makes this so special, this is the first time since 1980 that we have Michael McDonald on board singing with the band. He has been guest appearing on a couple of tracks here and there. He has been touring with them lately, but this is the first time he's like kind of like fully engaged in an album with the band since 1980's One Step Closer. The album is produced by John Shanks and mixed by Chris Lord-Alge. Forgive me if I'm saying the name wrong. It's comprised of 10 tracks. We have Mavis Staples, who's guest appearing on Walk This Road, the title track, and then we have Lahaina, where we have Mick Fleetwood playing drums on there. So a couple of guest stars on it that made this exciting. But what made this really good for me is that Michael McDonald is on board. Now, let's talk about this. There's always been two camps in the Doobie Brothers um, history. There's been the Tom Johnson era, which is the boogie woogie rock band, and then we have Michael McDonald, who brought in that smooth R&B adult contemporary sound to the band. Now, I remember in the beginning, Michael McDonald was a polarizing member of the band. He changed their sound. He changed them sonically. They weren't the same band anymore. And like I said in many of my other reviews, that if you're a certain type, if you're a rock band or whatever, you stuck to that genre and you didn't expand your palette, or the fan base goes crazy. And that's what happened in the beginning here with Michael McDonald. Him bringing that different influence changed their dynamic, and a lot of the fans kind of like were in an uproar. I remember that for many, many years that, he's destroyed the band. He's like a Yoko Ono. He killed the Doobie Brothers like Yoko Ono killed the Beatles. I remember that. But over the years, I've really loved his husky vocals. I love that R&B, that smooth R&B sound incorporated into that boogie woogie rock band, expanding the palette, making a different sound. I enjoyed that. So I was looking forward to him being on this record. I know maybe some fans are cringing about him being on the record, but I think he's earned his stripes after all these years. And I think he's proven himself to be a very good musician, a very good singer, and he's a very, very important member of the band, in my opinion. So overall, I'm going to say John Shanks did a great job in balancing both eras out. It's a great mix of rock, pop, soul, R&B, little tinge of reggae here and there. I gravitate more to the Michael McDonald songs on here, but if I'm gonna have to pick favorites, Walk This Road, which has McDonald, Simmons, and Johnston singing on there, which is great. Having all three guys there sing is great. Angels and Mercy from Patrick Simmons is great. I like Learn to Let Go. That's the track. That's the single that I said I'm getting this album no matter what. I reviewed the single by itself, and I said this is the one that really like I am so in, and I want to get this album. Here to Stay from Tom Johnston, and I'm gonna have to say Speed of Love from Michael McDonald and Lahaina from Patrick Simmons. That's the album closer with Mick Fleetwood, are my favorite tracks. Overall, like I said, it sounds great. It sounds very crisp, very clear. Everything sounds great. Michael McDonald's vocals on here are outstanding. I think he's the star of the show, in my opinion. My quibble with this is if you've seen them live, that interplay between them is phenomenal. After all these years, it's like second nature. And again, bringing Michael McDonald back, he's been playing with them for a few years now. It's like they've never been apart, and you see that interplay. I saw them on a talk show, and they played. I forgot the song, but they were playing together, and it was like back in 1980, and that interplay was beautiful. And I think that's what's missing on this record to really push the songs into a whole new level. I enjoy that live in the studio feel from a band. So that I heard that they weren't playing together is a little disappointing, because I think they have magic together, and I would have liked to have more of that live in the studio feel for the record, because it does sound really, commercial and slick, which is not bad. Like I said, all the songs are solid on here. If you like both eras, or you liked one era or another, it has enough of both to please anybody. And there's nothing on here that will offend. There's no, super shredding or anything crazy. You could put this on at a party and everybody go, "Oh, that's the Doobie Brothers." You know it's the Doobie Brothers. You go, "Oh, new album? Oh, wow, okay." And you can sneak in a couple of these songs onto a playlist, and I think some people wouldn't notice that it's a new song. That's how it works, how well this works. But again, it's that live in the studio feel that I think is sorely lacking in this release. And that's the only thing I can say about it. Other than that, this is a solid album. If you like the Doobie Brothers, you can't go wrong with this. So I highly, highly recommend it. This is the album. This is the back. Sorry I didn't show that to you before. But like I said, if you like the Doobie Brothers, you can't go wrong with this. I think it's a solid release. Like I said, I think I would have preferred a little live in the studio feel to it, but that's my only minor quibble. I think this is a solid record. May not be their best album, but I'm gonna say in their collection, I'm gonna say it's probably number 5 in their top 5, and that's not a bad thing to be. So this is my review. Let me know what you think. I'll post a couple of songs down below. Let me know. Do you like Michael McDonald in the band? Do you think he destroyed the band? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you old enough to know that, first of all? Love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us. We'll try to get back to you. This is Steven from the Roundtable with my thoughts on Walk This Road from the one and only Doobie Brothers. And I'll be seeing you soon, guys.